Welcome back to another episode of Askewed Reviews. And today I'm reviewing a film that recently came to the theaters. I'm talking about the 2026 film Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, directed and co-written once again by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette. So for those that haven't seen this yet, let me tell you a little bit about the concept to see if this is something that you want to check out. So we pick up exactly where the last film left off, with Grace, covered in blood, sitting on the stairs as the house burns down behind her and she is just trying to enjoy a single cigarette. Grace is then rushed off to the hospital, where we soon discover that she actually does have family, and that's her estranged sister, Faith. This reunion does not last long, though, as the sisters are quickly whisked away to a new location. It's here where we essentially meet Satan's lawyer, who kind of explains what Grace's new situation is. With Grace winning the game of hide and seek and causing the death of the Ladomus family, this does not actually end the game. This kind of starts a new one. We discover that there's a secret society of families, and at one time, one family actually gets to run the world. But if one of these families is taken out, like the Ladomuses, then it's kind of a free for all where anyone can now be in charge, but it's whoever takes out Grace. This is also when Faith discovers her unfortunate fate, which is due to the proximity of being near her sister when she was picked up. She is just thrown into the mix and is also being hunted. So, which family will be the ones to take out Grace and Faith and rule the world, or will the sisters manage to beat this game as well? So I really enjoyed this movie and thought it was a great way to continue as a sequel. I really liked the new characters that were introduced. I, of course, loved the combination of Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton working together. There was also a lot of other familiar faces thrown into this film. Some of the ones you probably recognize more than others are Elijah Wood, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sean Hatosi, and even David Cronenberg. Now, even though those are probably the most recognizable people, there are quite a few other familiar faces that you've probably seen in other films. Now, just like the first film, there are quite a few fun, quirky, and interesting characters that really have their own personality. There were a couple in this film that I just felt maybe needed a little bit more character, but for the most part, they were all fun to watch. I also really enjoyed how in this film they really expanded the lore and the universe. Now, even though I did really enjoy the adding of what they did to this film, of bringing in the sister and adding the families and just kind of more to the story and the world in general, I also felt like they didn't do enough to really step this one up. It's not that I disliked this movie at all. There was just, I don't know, maybe some things I felt were missing or some choices that kind of didn't make sense. And in actuality, I'll put up an episode of Let's Discuss later on today, going over some of those things because I don't want to ruin anything for people that haven't watched this. So, for those reasons, my rating on this one is going to take one little step down from the previous film. And out of five, I'm going to give this movie three evil Elijah Woods. And if I was trying to describe this movie to someone else, I think the best way I could do so is by saying you take the first film and you splice it with Knives Out, and you get this movie. I hope you enjoyed my review of Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. If you've already seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it in the comments and what you would have ranked it. Additionally, I also have a question for everyone. Let's say you go through the events of the first film and are about to be forced to do it again, but the only way that they can do so is by threatening the life of your sibling. Do you either sacrifice that sibling so you don't have to do it again, or do you go through the events of this film and keep in mind, you have to do it with that bro or sis that you're thinking of right now? Oh, and of course, I can't forget, for those of you that are an only child, let's say, since it's not a sibling, it's your best friend. Whatever platform you're watching this on, by the way, if you want to see more Askewed reviews, make sure to like and, of course, subscribe or follow.